remember the first thing that I really wanted when it came to manifesting was $2,000. I remember saying to myself, if I make $2,000, I'm balling. Like, I'm rich, I can get rent, I can get food, and I can pretty much live comfortably. That was my first mistake. Something about a cigar is just so meditative. Don't you agree? What is up, everybody? We're here in beautiful Dominican Republic. I think there's a lot on the internet going on nowadays about how manifesting is bullshit, but then there's also the people who really are all in on manifesting. I really believe it. And it's interesting, the dynamic. So I kind of wanted to put in my input on it through a story about how manifesting changed my life and brought more money into my environment than I could have ever imagined. The story starts in 2020 during the lockdowns. And that was really a transformative period for me because it was a lot of time to really sit down and really be in your thoughts. And the mistake that I see a lot of people make when it comes to making money is not asking for enough, or thinking that the goal that they want to achieve is too much to ask for. And I remember the first thing that I really wanted when it came to manifesting was $2,000. I remember saying to myself, if I make $2,000, I'm balling. Like, I'm rich, I can get rent, I can get food, and I can pretty much live comfortably. That was my first mistake. But before we get into that, I didn't even think making $2,000 at the time was a lot of money. And that just goes to show where my mindset was at the time. That's where I kind of stumbled into the whole CIA files of manifestation and really what the power of the mind could bring into your environment. So I think, like, for a couple weeks straight, I would wake up at 6 in the morning and I would just visualize. And I would visualize myself with the most beautiful girls, with the most beautiful scenery, with the money that I wanted in my bank account. And it felt so real. It was literally just sitting there sober, on my bed, straight from waking up and going straight into controlling my thoughts. When I started having those thoughts in my mind, I got a message from one of my old business partners asking me if I could work for him. And keep in mind, at this time I was doing videography, photography, and that was mainly my way of making money. And I had no way of getting clients consistently. But this guy just randomly DMs me and he says, hey, can I get a couple photos with you? Like, how much would that cost? And then see how, like, the wheel starts turning here, right? In my mind, I'm like, oh, wow, okay, this is kind of out of nowhere. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do it for a couple bucks. And he ends up hiring me. I end up taking photos with him and we have a great time. And he actually shows me a video of manifesting. And I remember thinking to myself, like, hold up, is this a joke? Is this actually happening? Like, I start diving into this world of, like, controlling your own thoughts, controlling your mind. And now this guy randomly tells me that he paid $6,000 for a course to teach him how to manifest. I watched the video and it was a Bob Proctor course. And it talked about 3 types of goals. It talked about A-type goals, B-type goals, and C-type goals. A-type goals are the goals that you feel are reasonable to achieve. You feel like, if I just keep working or if I just keep waiting, eventually that will happen. And those goals are usually the goals that people set. The problem with those types of goals is that they don't excite you. They don't give you the energy to get up and actually try to figure out how to make it happen, because you feel like, yeah, like, it's possible, it's gonna happen, and you don't really do anything about it. You kind of just wait. B-type goals are the goals that you feel like you could reasonably achieve, and usually those are like the year-end goals. And those are a step in the right direction, but for the most part, it comes with the mindset of waiting. Let me wait for this to happen. It's gonna happen and it's reasonable. There's no sense of urgency. There's no sense of emotional connection to it, because you feel like nothing really needs to change for that to happen. The final type of goal are C-type goals. And the C-type goals are goals that are so outside your current reality that it literally wakes you up and excites you, even scares you a little bit, to think, holy shit, is that actually possible? How could I do that? What do I need to do for that to be my reality? And those are the type of goals that change your life overnight, because it gets you thinking different. You know, there's a good example of this that was said in the course where there's a fly and he wants to get outside, but he keeps banging into the window. He can see outside, but the fly keeps banging into the window and he's like, yo, I see it outside. Like, how do I get in there? Right? But the fly doesn't realize, because he's a fly and he's stupid and he can only think like a fly. But if he thought like a man who controlled his emotions and controlled his reality, he would realize that the door is wide open and he could just get outside that way. And that's kind of the way that you need to be thinking when it comes to achieving these big goals. Is don't blind yourself to the ability to get more out of life just because you can only think from your current point of view. All these thoughts are kind of now entering my mind of, okay, let's ask for more. Let's ask for the $100,000. And I made a decision at that moment, $2,000 isn't enough. $2,000 is enough to basically survive, but we don't want to be surviving. You want to be thriving. That thought alone took me down the path of working with my then business partner and being in alignment with asking for more out of life. 3 months later, we ended up making our first $50,000 through our marketing agency. And taking a step back and really reflecting right now and thinking, here I am in beautiful Dominican Republic, watching this sunset, hanging out with my friends. It really started with just having the balls to ask for more out of life and actually believing that you deserve it. I encourage you to ask for more out of life. Ask yourself, what is the bare minimum that I'm accepting? Why am I accepting the bare minimum? And make a conscious choice to ask for more out of life, and watch how your mind is going to connect the dots to get there once it actually believes that it's deserving of it. Guys, if you like this video, all I ask is that you subscribe and you follow me in my socials. I'm gonna link it down below. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.